Come on. This is not charging. Okay. I guess I have to change that. Okay, forget about Facebook for today. So, see who's coming by. Hello, you can all see me. Just how you doing, guys? Finally. Yeah, I don't know why I can't charge that thing. How's it going, folks? I hope you can hear me fine. Let me know if the sound is okay. Yeah, just type into the chat, sound good, or type yes or whatever. Okay, just let me know if the sound is okay. Are you guys all right? How you doing? Sound quality good? Can you guys hear me in the chat? Let me know if the sound is good or not. Okay, let me know if the sound's okay. Sound is good. Okay, awesome, perfect. Sup, Frank? Good to see you on. Thank you, Adrian. How's it going, man? Um, yeah. So it's always the same thing. Okay, so I'm gonna wait till we're around 20 people. Then I'm gonna talk about the actual topic that I wanted to talk about today. Until then, just post any question that you have. Okay. There's really no rules. You can post about whatever you want. Yeah. Just type it in. Don't forget, it's pretty much the last day today. Today is the last day where you can actually still sign up for the afterlife path working. We're gonna start that very, very soon. So if you are still interested in taking part in this path working where I teach you how to navigate the afterlife, uh, sign up for it today because today is the last day you can do that. Yeah, Jesus. All right, come on, come on, come on. So the afterlife path working. Let me talk about that. What is the afterlife path working? The people that have signed up for the afterlife path working, I'm going to show them how to navigate all the states of consciousness after death. You're going to be prepared while still alive for everything that's going to happen after death. That's completely invaluable. If you think about it, this is what all mysticism and all spiritual practices, all religions are about. The only reason why religion makes sense is because there is a soul that needs religio, which means reconnection to the higher and the bigger picture, the macrocosm. So the microcosm, the individual, needs to be reconnected to the macrocosm. That's the etymology of the word religion. All religions, all spiritual systems, all mystical practices have as their goal the religio, meaning connecting the person back to their higher self. Now, you have a soul, and that soul at one point will leave this body. We have to live with the conscious awareness and the understanding that this is actually the case. And therefore, any spiritual system that is worth anything must cover that and must teach you how to navigate those states. But most religions don't do that. Compiling, practicing, and being able to teach how to navigate that is actually extremely rare. I don't know who else does that. But in this path working, you're going to be able to learn that. This path working is not coming back. This is a unique opportunity to learn that from me. I'm never going to do that again, ever. Therefore, I I really recommend that you do that. I really recommend that you sign up for it. Yeah. Damn. I'm trying to go live on Facebook as well. Give me 1 second. And like I said, in the meantime, guys, you can type in whatever it is that you like. You can ask any questions that you have. Mm. Can you speak about Jin? No, I'm not interested in that. Not interested in talking about that right now. Ask me a different question. I'm going to answer the other question. I'm gonna first. I gotta go live on Facebook. Let's see if that works. Oh, summertime. It's on your mind. Live. Come on. Let's see. Go live here. Summertime. Can I use the same principle as your evocation course with working with Jinn? No. No, there's a different process on how to call them. Let me go live on Facebook. Give me 1 second. Yep. I'm live on Facebook as well. Good. Different angle. All right. How is it that people end up in different afterlives in near death experiences? Uh, how much would the path working be? I'm going to go into your question in just a second. But how much would the path working be? Well, you can talk to my team about that. There are ways to split the payments and so on and so forth, right? But obviously there has to be an exchange there. So it's probably not as expensive as you think, but it's also not nothing. So sign up for it, and then you can talk to my team, but make it fast, okay? Today's the last day where you can actually sign up. Today's the last day where you can sign up. Good. What's up, Facebook? I'm also live on YouTube, and I'm going to talk about the afterlife path working today, which is today's the last day where you can sign up for. Today's the last day, and this path working is never going to come back. So somebody asked here, how is it that people end up in different afterlives and near-death experiences? Um, for that, we have to know that that we have to know that there's a law of resonance. If you resonate with something, you're going to be pulled into it. You're going to be pulled towards it. You're going to attract it. Okay. Now, the physical universe is very solid. The spiritual universe is very fluid, changes very fast. Also, distance is not an issue when it comes to the spiritual universes. In order to bridge a distance in the spiritual universes, you got to change your frequency, and boom, you're in contact with it. So, if people have different ideas about what they've been taught about the afterlife, according to that, their spirit is going to interpret the energy, and they're going to start resonating with that. And then, boom, they're gonna be pulled into that afterlife. All right. How do we protect our energy from energy vampires? Shielding, but also practicing getting it back. You got to practice getting your energy back from people, or you got to practice pulling energy from other people. You know, um, that's going on constantly and all the time. People steal each other's energy all the time, all the time. So you got to learn how to steal the energy from other people. You know, psychically, and that's just concentration and intention. And then you can pull that. Are spirits like Paimon useful for learning Jinn sorcery? No, not at all. No, not at all. Do we sign up on Facebook? I just came on the stream. No. There's a well, the landing page is not the best way to sign up for it anymore. There used to be a landing page. Find my personal profile on Facebook and send me a message there. Okay, send me a message on Facebook ideally, or Instagram or Facebook. Send me a personal message and then we can schedule that. You know, there are days. It's really interesting. Some days I'm like, I can stay up forever. I work like 20 hours, and then there are days where I'm like just tired. Today is the day where I'm just tired. My energy is zapped, for fuck's sake. You know, but I'm gonna still gonna power through this, man. Um, okay, this path working is about the afterlife. Yeah, it's about the afterlife. It's about the afterlife. Did you see the promo video that I did? I only did one promo video actually, like in terms of um, you know, with illustrations and shit like that. So, did you see that? If not, go on the YouTube channel and look up the video that says what happens after death. Yeah, posted it like 2 weeks ago. What happens after death, and that teaches you a lot about it. Okay, people are coming on. That's good. So Facebook. Um, like I'm not looking at that. This is my phone. I'm not looking at the phone because over here there's my computer screen. So I'm looking at the computer. Just so you know. But you can also ask questions here on Facebook. So, what is the video? How do I do that? Hmm. I didn't know that. You know, on live streams on Facebook, you can apparently create groups, so you can be live with another person. That'd be great, and they can ask questions. I'm assuming so you can create a group call there. It's pretty dope. Didn't know that. Okay, why doesn't YouTube allow that? That'd be great. Okay. All right, people are coming in. That's good. Once we reach around 20, I'm going to talk about the actual topic that I want to talk about today. Yeah. Until then, you can ask whatever it is that you want to ask. I'm going to do my best to give you a good answer and to help you with your understanding to the extent that I can. Oh, can you hear me coming? Oh. Don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to move. He makes me want to hug you for going up. Jungle sometimes makes me want to hug you for going up. Good. Any other questions, guys? Come on. I'm sure you have a lot of questions. Sure, you got a lot of questions. Does anyone on Facebook want to join the video call right now? What do you think about Crawley? Crawley. I think Crawley was a little bit. I'm not a fan of him, really. I'm really not a fan of him. What do I mean by that? Not being a fan of him, I think he's a little bit overrated. I think the writings are a little bit. They're obviously coded. You know, they're in code, but I don't think he was really able to break things down as clear as necessary. And I also think that he intentionally disguised a lot of stuff and that he intentionally misled people. That's what I think. I also think he was a pervert, completely disgusting individual. Yeah, so that's what I think. What are some ways to boost my energy throughout the day? Hmm, Boosting your energy throughout the day. I mean, for me, what works is clarity because there are always multiple intentions within the person. So most of our energy is wasted on this conflict that we have within ourselves. So if you can make sure that all parts within yourself want the same thing, then you're gonna have way more energy. But most of the time, you stop yourself or you block yourself because there's too many different intentions at the same time going on. Okay, so once again, we have energy running through us. Okay, so life force that runs through us and it runs in directions. As soon as you got energy in a direction, you got a vector. Okay, it's a vector. Now, when you got energy and direction and a vector, it means there are vectors that are working against that. Sometimes they're in opposition. Sometimes they are maybe not in complete opposition, but they're um, antagonistic. Some of them are supportive. So you could say that you have, let's say, maybe 30% of your energy moves into the direction that you want, your conscious choices and all that stuff, right? But the other 70% is moving into other directions. This is the conflict that we experience within ourselves. Everybody's this is the human condition. We have an internal conflict where different energies or different parts of us want different things. There's a tug of war going on, and all of this energy is wasted on the conflict. The average person functions like that. Like this. Let's say 30% of them wants to do what they have to do in order to pay the bills. 60% of them is something completely different, wants to live their life completely differently than what they're forced to do to pay the bills, or they think they're forced to do that. And then you got 10% left. Okay. So 90% now is in constant conflict. And you got 10% to master life. You got 10% to make things happen. You got 10% to deal with all the problems that you have. Obstacles require energy. 90% of your energy is caught up in an internal conflict. You got 10% to make happen what you want to make happen in this life. And this is sad, but this is the sad reality of life for most people. So what you need to do is you need to learn how to resolve the internal conflicts. How do you get all of your energy to work on what you consciously want? That's it. So that's how you seize the conflict. That's how you seize the conflict within. You will always be at war with the world. Okay, the war in the world is never going to end. Why we live in duality? There's always obstacles. There's always problems. That's why how the world's set up. However, that's not a problem. The only problem is if you're at war with yourself, then you can't even trust yourself. That's fucked up. So, and I believe that's actually where most of of the world's problems are rooted because people are at war within themselves, and then externally they can't make happen what they want to make happen. So, to come back to your question, resolve the conflict within yourself by streamlining all of your energies. Make your conscious and unconscious energies congruent with each other. In other words, how do you feed your subconscious energy into your conscious desire? All right. Frank, do spirits interact with each other? For example, like fighting each other or loving each other? Duality, of course, yes. It's a dual universe. Absolutely. Yeah. There are, look, once again, life is a competition for energy. All of existence is a competition for energy. Humans compete with each other. We also compete with that. Well, we're higher up the food chain. I don't think we're competing with dogs and animals for the most part. But everything in life is competing. Everything in nature competes. For what? Resources and energy. And resources are just energy. So, yes, of course, spirits also are at war with each other. They also compete for what? Energy. The different religions, the different egregores behind that, the different demons, the different angels, different spirits, of course, they're at war with each other. Yes. But loving or hating, I mean, what does that even mean? Loving each other. What is love? What is love? Explain that to me. What is that concept? Now, I don't want to look. I do believe in love. I do believe in that feeling, but I also understand that that feeling has a biological um, s- side to it. Is that like you know? Or let me put it differently. This whole existence thing is a game. It's a game. See it as a game. This game cannot stop. Okay? This is the only thing that we know. It's let's assume this is a game and the game has to keep going. Now, life is competition for energy. So within that game, different powers and different forces compete with each other, right? Now, if it gets to a point where one entity gets all the energy of all others, they all cease to exist, only one is left and the game would be over. That is not going to happen. So the system is self-correcting. The system is self-correcting. What do I mean by that? Self-correcting. Look at corporations, for instance, okay? The goal or the purpose of a corporation is actually to provide more to society than it takes. Okay, that's why there's a corporation. That's why there's a business. The business is supposed to create more value for the for society than it extracts. Yeah. Sometimes corporations and businesses don't do that. What they do is they extract more than they put back. At that point, natural law will guarantee that they go out of business. They will self-destruct. The same with people. You can observe the same thing with people. Life is a competition for energy, that's true, but at the same time, you cannot extract more than you give back. It has to be balanced in one way or another. So, if you want to be rich or something like that, it's not a problem. You can acquire as many resources as you want, but you have to put as much and at least as much or more value out that justifies the resources that you accumulated. Okay, you always got to create value. You understand? Otherwise, this game is going to punish you for it. It's self-correcting. Okay, so um, when we talk about love, I believe that's love. I would call that love. Loving the universe means that you, or loving humanity means that you it doesn't mean that you're madly in love with someone or with humans. You're like googly eyed and shit like that. No, it means that you understand that you have to provide more value than you extract, and at that point, the whole benefits from your existence, and that's when you're going to be rewarded. How are you going to be rewarded? It's a feeling that you get. It's a feeling of love, and love is a very survival energy. Love is actually the most survival energy. A child cannot survive unless it is loved by its mother. So it's a life-giving energy. You see, if you want to feel love, you cannot extract that. You understand? You cannot extract love. What you have to do is you have to earn it, in a sense. Now, I know a lot of people will disagree with me on that because they'll be like, "Oh, love yourself no matter what. Love yourself no matter what." That is complete horseshit. That's by the way, that's the problem of a lot of women these days. Okay, like look, I don't want to start this war between the genders and all that shit. That's not even my thing. But that's the problem with a lot of women these days because they just think that they have to be loved for just being themselves or for being pretty, or whatever, right? Bullshit. No, they're like we all have to do something in order to deserve that. Why? Because we're part of a bigger system. We're part of the universe. We cannot just extract. We have to be of service to the game as a whole. Otherwise, we're going to be canceled out of the game. You see? So the best way to live is to, I mean, you can have anything that you want, you can have as much as you want, as long as you provide more to the game, or at least keep it even. So when you start making money, you got to give money to charity, you got to give money to people that don't have money, you got to help, or you got to use that in a constructive way that just doesn't just serve you. That's the best way to deal with it. Okay, that's and I'm not just talking about money, that applies to everything in your life. Okay. So, uh, the I'm just saying that because most people's definition of love is I just wanna I just want attention. I want to be appreciated. I want to like appreciated for what? For what? Because I'm pretty. No, that's not enough. You got to do what is necessary to serve the whole. You know. How about you be a good mother or something like that? How about that? You know. Now, of course, the same applies to guys as well. Right? And once again, I'm coming back to that topic, but that applies to everything in your life. You want to make money easy. You just provide more value than you extract. Okay. So you want to make $1 million. How do you provide something that is worth $2 million? That it's no problem to have $1 million at that point. But most people don't think like that. Most people are vampires. They extract without giving back. And that's you, like I said, you're gonna be canceled out by the game. Why? Because the game cannot end. So you can't have complete accumulation in one spot. Okay, so let's go to another topic here. Um, and any thoughts on sex magic? Man, I've answered that question a couple times actually. You know, are there exercises to increase my awareness besides meditation? Paying attention, whatever. Look, it's like a when you pay attention to something, you increase that in your own awareness and perception. So if you want to become more sensitive to energy, just got to pay attention to energies, to energy dynamics. You want to become more aware to aware of whatever. You just pay more attention to it, and that's going to open it up for you. Do aliens feel love? Once again, life is love. Life force is love. So unless you feel love, you're not going to be able to survive. Life and love are linked. You see, love is is survival. Love is survival energy. It's also healing. Without being able to feel love, you would not be alive. The closer to death, the less love you're able to feel. Yeah. And when I say love, once again, I'm not talking about this, and butterflies and stuff like that. That's part of it. Okay. Romantic love. Yeah, that's part of it. But when I say love, it's basically okay, you can also love humanity or the future and potential of humanity. That's love. It has nothing to do with sexual love, but it is a feeling of whatever, like Well, we have to protect the species or something like that. Well, you can love nature, you can love a pet. You know what I mean? So yes, of course, if you're not able to feel love, you're dead. They're interconnected, love and life. Life force is the love. It's healing, it's awakening. And like I said, the closer you are to death, the less love you can feel, the less you can open your heart. As long as you're able to let love flow through you or life force flow through you, you're alive, you're vibrant, and all that stuff. You see? This is also why when people age, when people get old, they become stiff. So the energy doesn't flow as well anymore. You see what I mean? So these things are interconnected. Um, Priceless wisdom, as always. Thank you. Appreciate that. But that's it. You see, what you have to do is put out more. Look, and it's not even about the what's the word, man? It's not even about it's not about transaction. It's more about what is the energy that I'm putting out into the universe. You see what I mean? So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking understanding, wisdom, and knowledge, and I'm putting this into other people's minds. They're going to benefit from that. Now, this is going to come back to me. Doesn't necessarily have to come back from the very person that I'm talking to because I'm dealing with a system of energy. I'm dealing with the universe. You see what I mean? In some way or another, it's going to come back to me. You know, because I'm not extracting. I'm providing. You see what I mean? So now I have to be rewarded. Somebody who just extracts, sooner or later is going to self destruct. Okay. And that's why people who are only extracting deep down, they can't love themselves either. They can't because they know it. They know that they're not useful to the universe and therefore they're not supposed to be here. You get what I mean? It's very simple, man. Just be useful. Just provide value. Be of service to the world in some way or another, and most of your problems will be solved. Oh, I feel no motivation. I have no motivation. Just fucking do something useful, meaningful. You know, help some old people. You know, help start working at a nursery home or something like that. Way more useful than getting a stupid ass Instagram account and then posting pictures of yourself. You know, peace, brother Sopax. How's it going? Any fan? Um, yeah. What else? Do you think egg cleansings are effective? Do you think egg cleansings are effective? Sure. Yeah, they work definitely. And thoughts on siete machos for cleansing. Yeah, look, any cleansing done by the right person is going to work. You know. Once again, everything in magic is dependent on who does it, on the operator. Yeah. So if the person is good, the ritual is going to be good. And when I say good, it's not a moral quality. I'm talking about skills and abilities. Yes. Are there other offerings other than incense that Bune likes? Also, what kind of incense does Bune like most? You can always use divination to figure that out. You can always use divination. Now, what if you can't clearly hear that? What, just bro, just use a pendulum. Okay, a pendulum is going to give you binary answers, right? Yes, no, and mm, then you can go through a bunch of stuff. Do you like tobacco? Yes, no. Do you like? I don't know. Do you like cheese? Do you like this and that and the other? You go through a bunch of different things, and then Bune's going to tell you what do you want. Yeah. Do we have comments here on Facebook? No. All right. For sure, I appreciate the response. No problem, man. No problem.
Allerdings wird das ein
That manuscript is hard to find. Mhm. Very much so. I would be really surprised, or I hope somebody's gonna find it, but I have my doubts that it's gonna be found. Does the Legua prefer water or rum on Mondays? They always prefer rum. Always prefer rum. Also, but for Elegua, that's not the ideal offering. He prefers candy and cigar smoke much more. Candy, cigar smoke, or coffee, black coffee, very, very strong. That's much better. Good. So we got more than 20 people on. So let me talk about what I wanted to talk about originally from the beginning. I want to talk about the afterlife path working, which is going to start very soon. A lot of people signed up. The number is around 20, I think, somewhere around that. Today's the last day you can sign up. We're going to start very, very soon. Today is the last day. I said 31st. And this means that you're now, um, if you want to take part in that, if you want to learn how to navigate the afterlife, you should sign up for it now. Okay? You should definitely do whatever you can to be part of it because it's not coming back. If you want to learn that stuff. Now, if you don't want to learn that stuff, obviously, then forget what I'm saying. But if you want to learn, if you want to prepare for what's going to happen after death, and much, much more, because we're going to go through a lot of things there, then you have to be part of this path working. This path working is going to change your life without a doubt, 100%. It's going to change your perspective on life. It's going to change your perspective on how you see existence. And it's going to change your perspective on the meaning of things. And with that comes a change in life, absolutely. You're gonna change inside, on the inside, you're gonna change. Your mind's gonna change, your frequency is gonna change, your consciousness is gonna change, and with that, your life is gonna change. It's gonna reflect that too. Frank, when you say be of service to other people, how do to balance that with the might is right mentality? Because if you don't balance those two, won't the world take advantage of you? Once again, everything is not done in absolutes. There are no absolutes in this physical universe. So you got to balance it out. I live 80% for myself, I live 20% for others and the world as a whole, you know? And this might also change as I go into different phases of my life. Because see, you have to focus on yourself first in order to be able to provide a lot to the world and other people. Listen, I've been studying the occult since I was 13 years old. I am approaching 38. So 25 years. Blood, sweat, and tears, challenges. I almost died multiple times. So all kinds of different things. And that's now putting me in a situation where I can provide understanding, value, and teachings about the occult. But I had to focus on myself. And teaching was not my focus in the past at all. You see? So in the beginning, you have to focus on yourself. And then when you're in the right position, you're going to do that naturally. When you get into it, automatically, you're going to start teaching. Even if it's not in a teacher setting, it's going to happen naturally. You know. So I believe in the beginning of your life, when you're growing and stuff like that, but out of necessity, you're more selfish. You have to be more selfish, absolutely, because what do you have to give? So you have to take. You know. But at one point, you're implored to give back in some way or another. You have to. You can also make a deal with yourself or deal with the universe. Tell it, listen, universe, if you help me figure this out, if you help me make this happen, if you help me, universe, God, whatever you want to call that, if you help me figure this out right now, I promise that I will help hundreds of people, thousands of people to do the same and even more. Right? You can see that a lot with people that want to get rich, right? Or something like that. They make it's like a pact with the universe. Tell it, listen, if you help me, if I ever should reach my goals with that, I'm gonna help hundreds or thousands of people to do the same. At that point, you see, you're taking something, you're extracting, but you're providing more back. And at that point, the balance is still there. In fact, you're a net positive. And you're going to feel great about it. Why? Because you're part of this energy system. Your self-esteem is determined by to what extent you are of value to the world. Why? Because you get what I mean? It's all interconnected. So if you are able to provide more than you take, beautiful. And the universe is going to reward you for it. How? With a feeling of purpose and love. That's where you should seek love. You don't seek love in another person. Look, if you're in love with another person, that's beautiful. That's great. But they can't be your universe. You have to look beyond that. Your connection to the universe is all that counts. Are you okay within yourself? That's the question. The other person doesn't matter. It's, are you okay? Like, do you have the guidance? Do you have the connection to the greater whole? And if you feel okay with that, and everybody knows it, just check in with yourself. Am I good with the universe? Am I good with some people would call that God? Am I good if am I good with the universe? If you're good with the universe, there's nothing to worry about. You could die. I could die tomorrow. It's cool. It's fine. I don't want to die. Absolutely not. I enjoy living, and I got a lot of plans. I got a lot of shit to do. But um, if I had to go, it's fun. We all have to at one point. Right? We all have to go at one point. So for me right now, it's 80% for myself, 20% for others, for the world, and that might change. Who knows? Maybe I'm gonna be a billionaire and I'm like 70 years old, 80 years old. Then I'm gonna live 20% for myself, 80% for others. Might have grandkids. You know, build schools, give all my money away just to feed the poor or whatever. And that's actually like, isn't that kind of like what a lot of those guys do at a certain level? They in their youth they're ruthless, and you got to be a ruthless motherfucker in order to make it. You have to. You got to take. You got to conquer. You got to make. You gotta be a conqueror, right? And that's in the beginning, and then you reach a level where you have enough, right? Or more than enough, and then at that point you're okay with sharing it and helping other people out, and that's the natural progression. I think that's how you should do it. A lot of people, though, a lot of people, I would say the majority, unfortunately, most people extract more than they give back. You know, and that's not a good way to live, because you're gonna be punished for it. The universe is gonna punish you. You don't have to be afraid of the law. That's why I would never steal. I would never steal. Not because I'm afraid of the law. I mean, it's only the stupid criminals that get caught, right? So prison is for the dumb people, actually. Prison is for dumb people. Smart criminals don't get caught. Smart criminals wear suits and they make legislations and fucking big deals and shit like that. They print the money. Those are the real criminals. The dumb criminals get caught. They're in prison. But um, I wouldn't be a criminal. I wouldn't steal from the world or other people. Why? Because it's not because I'm afraid of the law, because I would never get caught if I committed a crime. Why? Because I'm fucking smart and I'm a strategic genius, so I know exactly what to do and how to not get caught. But I'll be afraid of the punishment in terms of energy. It's a golden cage, you know, golden cage. It's that leads to depression, massive depression, massive. Yeah, it's not a good feeling. Not good. Yeah. Why do so many? Whatever. So many people that supposedly have everything. Why are they so miserable? Why are they so fucked up? Why are they on drugs? Why do they do that? Like, why? Why is that? It's because they have to destroy themselves. Why? Because they're cheating the system. They're cheating this energetic system, and now they have to destroy themselves. They're being destroyed by the forces of the universe. You see, and if you want to be thriving, continue to thrive, and always be on top. Just make sure that you give more than you take. Okay, Lanky says, laugh out loud. Okay. Yeah, it's life is never as simple as one answer. You see what I mean? There's not one philosophy or one idea that's gonna allow you to navigate everything in life. You see what I mean? It's not, oh, might is right versus Jesus Christ. That's not how reality works. Reality is always like a fluid thing, and every case is kind of like individual. There are so many different permutations of different steps. You know what I mean? I take this path, I'm going to end up somewhere completely different. It's very like heuristical, and there are so many different permutations out of that. Meaning, you have to adjust your perception of reality, your philosophy, your ideas to the outcome that you want to get. There are different ways of looking at the world. Okay, there are different ways of looking at the world. There's very simple-minded people look at the world in terms of black and white, or A, B, positive, negative. It's either this or that. But that's not how the world works, obviously, right? The world is way more complex. A little bit smarter people begin to understand that everything is conditional and systemic. Systemic means that things influence each other, and there's a feedback loop between different factors. Yeah. If you want to get good at business, if you want to get good at money, if you want to get good at life in general, you have to understand systemic thinking, how a system works. You have to train yourself to think systemically. Yeah. Not systematically, I'm talking systemically. Systemic thinking. Crucial. If you want to make real money, if you want to understand business, markets and all that stuff, systemic thinking is the key. Now, a lot of people will tell you that systemic thinking is the highest level of thinking. It's not. The highest level of thinking, the highest level of understanding is actually holistic thinking. Holistic thinking allows you to choose your lens that you use to look at the world in different situations according to the outcome that you want. Most people want simple answers. It's like, what do I do? And then they don't want to change their worldview. They don't want to change their approach in the next situation. But the world is constantly changing. The world's constantly changing. You're not the same person that you were last week. What do you think is going on with the other person? They're changing too. They're developing. They're changing. But most people are mentally lazy, so they're asking for one recipe. Tell me what to do here. Boom. Tell me this. Tell me that. Boom, boom, boom. Good soldiers, right? Or you could also call them pawns. But it's not as simple as that. Life's not that simple. So what you have to learn is you have to figure out, okay, I'm here. This is the outcome that I want. Now, what path do I take? The path is determined by the lens that you use to look at reality, the approach that you take to look at reality. You see? So what you have to be able to do is you have to see belief, worldview, even emotions as tools. They're just simply tools that you generate in order to look at the world in the right way. And then you will have the right outcome. Okay. So generally speaking, you want you prefer peace, you prefer diplomacy. You understand that getting along with people is always better than fighting them. Making a friend is always better than making an enemy. Or turning an enemy into a friend is way better than beating the enemy. Usually, right? You could also be very, very understanding of uh, factors that make people bad people, you know? But if a criminal walks up to you and wants your money or wants to kill you, you're not going to think about, oh, what made that person such a bad person. I'm sure that that person had a lot of trauma in their life. I'm sure they were raised in a fucked up situation that turned them into a bad person. I'm sure that they were exposed to a lot of violence. But in that moment, that person has to be neutralized. I don't have time to think about that. You see what I mean? So um, the ideas, the worldviews, the lens that you use to look at reality has to be according to the outcome that you want. And this is what we call holistic thinking. And this is actually the highest level of looking at the world, the highest level of thinking, the highest form of philosophy, I would say. You know, people tell you, oh, it's stoicism. People tell you it's Taoism. People tell you it's this and that and the other. Listen, you got to be careful of people who have very, very simple answers to life. They're always lying to you. Either they're fools, they're fucking idiots if they actually believe that, or they're intentionally misleading you. You know, or they're just very, very smart and they know that in order to get people, in order to get followers, in order to get people to follow you, you gotta choose one message. You gotta repeat that message again and again and again and again and again, because people are so insecure and so incapable of thinking for themselves that they're just gonna grab any kind of truth that you give them. And if you say something with a lot of conviction and confidence, they're gonna believe that, and it doesn't matter if reality doesn't match up. They're gonna cling on to this belief because they're so insecure that they need somebody to tell them this is the truth. No, this is the truth. This is the truth. This is the truth. And if you say it with enough conviction, they're not going to argue. You see? This is how you become a dictator. You want to become a dictator? Just do that. You want to build a cult following? That's how you do it. You just say things with absolute conviction. And people will follow. Why? Because people are so incapable of thinking for themselves. Because life is too complex, and they're confused. So if somebody's there and has a consistent message, this is how it is. This is what it's like. This is what it's like. This is what it's like. They're gonna love that, and they're gonna be your loyal followers. That's how it's done. But that's not reality. It's not truth. Truth is complex, always. Or rather, the world is complex. Truth is rather simple, but the world is complex. So how you navigate the world is different from this, that. It's not black and white. It's not positive, negative. There's always a gray area. So you have to learn holistic thinking. You choose beliefs, choose philosophies, you choose even emotions according to the situation and the outcome that you want. Boom. Example that I gave you. Example is what would be an example? I mean, there's so many different examples I could give you. In communication with another individual, that could be something that you could use. Okay, so you could either clash with them. Okay, you have an opinion, they have an opinion. Boom, start clashing with them, right? Now, if you don't care about the outcome, you can definitely do that. If it's not important for you to get along with that person, you can tell them to go fuck themselves. Absolutely. You don't have to change. But what if that person has something, needs something, does something that you need to get? Then you adjust and you take a different approach. There are people that are very external and there are people that are very internal. Okay. The difference between the two is an internal individual is very self-directed. They have their own values and ideas, and they don't really care about what other people say. Then there are people that are very external, and those external people are dependent on feedback from the outside world. They constantly need feedback in order to know how well they're doing. The internal person doesn't care what the outside world says. They know they're doing well or they're doing bad depending on their own internal values. The other person is external, and they need an external um, validation. Yeah. So if when two internal individuals come together and they start clashing, because they will clash, yeah, one has that conviction, the other one has that conviction, they will start clashing. At that point, one of the people that is internal naturally could change their model of reality, be like, okay, what if I become a little bit more external? When I become a little bit more external, at that point, that person feels the internal person will start feeling validated, and then um, we can create rapport, and then that other person is going to be able to be influenced by me. Okay, Now, that's maybe not the best example I could give you, but generally speaking, you should be able to adjust your beliefs, your worldview, and your approach depending on the outcome that you want. Yeah. That has nothing to do with being not truthful. That has nothing to do with being dishonest. Nothing. Because dishonest would be if you or negative would be if you would cause harm, if your intention would be to cause harm. As long as your intentions are good and pure, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that you're the superior philosopher at that point. You're superior at that point. You understand things. It's basically um, if you're dealing with a shark can only attack you. A shark's not going to negotiate. A shark isn't going to create weapons. Is not able to create tools, right? But what makes us superior, or what makes us dominate the animal kingdom? It's we have the ability to build tools. We can adjust to the situation. We can. It's cold out there. I don't have to grow fucking hair. I can build clothes and carry them on my skin to not freeze to death. You see them? If it's too hot, I can build shelter that creates a shadow so that I'm not that hot. You know, I can build tools that replace claws. You know, the claws of a tiger are much more sharp than mine, but I have the ability to create tools that are sharper than any tiger's claws. You see what I mean? So this is intelligence. This is what we call intelligence. Now, intelligence is not just what we use for like physical objects. Intelligence is also something that you can use when it comes to ideas, philosophies, emotions, and your worldview. And when you're able to do that, you're playing the real game. This is the real game. Okay, we beat the animal kingdom by being able to build physical tools, obviously. But you're at war with with other people in the mind. Do you get that? It's a mental game that we play as humans. Our evolution is going on in the mind. So you have to have superior tools, superior mental tools in order to win that game. Now the good thing is that most people are complete amateurs at that game. Mentally, most people are complete amateurs when it comes to this stuff. But this is one of the secrets, holistic thinking. Being able to think holistically will allow you to thrive. This mental chess game that we're all playing, you know, uh, you're gonna win. So, hello, is the afterlife path working tomorrow? No, tomorrow is the last day where you can sign up. We're gonna start very soon. You're all gonna receive an email and a message when we're gonna start. But today, I mean tomorrow, for me, it's already the 31st. Today is the last day to sign up. Uh, do the soul enter? Does the soul enter the body in the womb or at birth? In the womb. It's around the third month, and it enters through the pineal gland. Is it the third month? It's somewhere very early on. It's very early on in the pregnancy. So um, let's see. Yeah. There's mental high tech too. Don't forget that there are mental technologies, and they are way superior than physical technologies, because when you learn mental technologies, you can unlock the full potential of your mind, which is pretty powerful. It's like a quantum computer. Yeah. I mean, the people that are on my programs, the people that are on my order, the people that do the path workings with me, I've shown them a couple of mental techniques yet, but there are so many. There are so many, man. There's so many. But what I can guarantee you is that I've transformed a lot of people's lives with those techniques, for sure. A lot of people can vouch for that. How do I sign up? Well, message me on Facebook to be part of the Pathworking. All right. All right. Um, Good. So I think I did enough here for today. So once again, guys, if you want to be part of the Pathworking, the afterlife Pathworking, which is never going to come back, it's a one-time offer, one-time opportunity. Message me on Facebook if you still want to sign up for it, and then can I still send you profiles for the modeling? Sure. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I mean, I got 3 new models now based on, like, I put it out. I interviewed 5, and three of them were a good fit. And then if you, yeah, definitely. Up- they're plugged into a new system. It's not that much more. It's not that much additional work. So yes, I'm definitely open for it. Okay, but make sure that they're pretty, please. Okay, you need pretty girls. Okay. Um, I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Be well. Be well, Facebook.